Okay, thanks for joining me here. We're going to cover a few ways that athletic trainers can join a TeamBuildr account and participate in order to collaborate with strength and conditioning coaches and also better manage athletes in a athletic program. So first things first, trainers can actually come in here and assign rehab or corrective programming to athletes. So if we go to manage calendars, as a strength coach may know, in TeamBuildr you can create calendars for healthy athletes, and this is where you program their training and so on. Now, in addition to having healthy athletes on TeamBuildr training, you can actually create rehab calendars. So if you have athletes that need upper body rehab or lower body rehab, you're welcome to create calendars for groups of athletes. Or as we'll cover now, you can actually program for athletes as individuals as well. So if you're doing that as an athletic trainer, you program in the calendar tab as you would normally, and you can have access to the rehab calendars, and you could program rehab for groups of athletes. And then also you can go to individual athletes and program for individuals as well. So if I go to an individual and this individual cannot do the workout program, the training that was assigned to him or her, you can erase it and you can write new programming if you need to. So if we write programs as an athletic trainer, we can choose from the existing library of exercises provided to us by the strength coach, or we can create new ones as well. So for instance, if we need to do the arm bike, and this is something that is not in the exercise database, simply type it in and click add arm bike as an exercise, and you can start adding athletic training rehab type exercises to the database. Also, if you're an AT and you just need to review programming, you could go to an individual and look at their programming, and then you can either edit exercises or delete them, as long as you collaborate with a strength coach, presumably. But this is how you can get involved as an athletic trainer. The second thing you can do as an athletic trainer is understand that athletes will be able to interact with their workout programming and get some feedback. So for instance, if I'm an athlete, I can actually come in here and do a training program, and I can choose to add a note and say something like, this hurts my wrist. And then you could also just simply opt out of an exercise. You can say I'm opting out because I'm injured or prohibited or have some other reason. So anytime there's an instance where someone opts out or writes a note, TeamBuildr, we will take, we'll document that instance, and you can look at that by running a report. So if I go to Coach Tools, I can go to Reporting, and I want to run this report called opt-out/notes report. And if I take this and I say, show me any notes or opt-outs from the football team in the past month, we can kind of query this. So Julius Campbell, he wrote a note 3 times, once for front squat, one for split squat, and then one for calf raises. And I can just kind of review what athletes are saying here and kind of get an idea of the kind of stuff that they're citing, either as they're opting out or just writing some notes as feedback. So that's another way an AT can get involved, to kind of keep an eye on this, especially if you have an athlete that you've returned to the weight room, but you just want to make sure that you're seeing what they're giving in terms of feedback, maybe in relation to a specific exercise or so. So those are a few ways that athletic trainers most of the time get involved on TeamBuildr. Again, that's programming or auditing exercises, or running the opt-out and notes report in order to just monitor athlete feedback or instances for athletes opted out of exercises. Now, the only last thing I'd say here is that if you collaborate with a strength coach in administering sports science or wellness questionnaires, then you could administer these questionnaires to athletes. So if you're familiar, this is as simple as simply just adding an exercise that's a sports science questionnaire. You could put in something like sleep or wellness, and when you add that to the training, they'll be asked how stressed they are, how fatigued they are, so on and so on. Now, when they answer those questions, you can go back to reporting as well. And as long as you set an upper limit and a lower limit to these questions, TeamBuildr will actually give you some sort of questionnaire report that will color code whenever there's something you should look out for. So if I choose football, if I choose questionnaires, the wellness questionnaire, then choose a date, I get this table with color codes, and I just want to look out for things that are red or yellow to make sure that my athletes are healthy. Anytime something exceeds a lower limit or an upper limit, it will be color coded for me, and I should keep an eye on that. So that's kind of the third way that athletic trainers can get involved, at least from a wellness or readiness standpoint.